Yo, what's good everybody? It's Jaguar here, and today we are breaking down 5 tips to instantly help you rank up in Fortnite Zero Build Ranked. If you've been grinding ranked like me and you want to hit Elite Champ or Unreal faster, especially in Zero Build, I've got some game-changing strategies that helped me reach Elite in under 15 hours of lifetime playing time on Fortnite. Alright, first things first. Reach the storm first, then shoot. Now this may sound very simple, but trust me, if you're getting caught outside the circle in Zero Build, it's pretty much a death sentence. Without the ability to build cover, you're exposed, especially when rotating late and other players have already set up inside the storm. I always prioritize rotating earlier, making sure I'm like one of the first ones to reach the new storm or the new zone. Think of it this way: once you're in the storm, you're safe, you're the person in control. You can set up for high ground, scout for enemies, take easy shots at anybody trying to get inside the storm. This way you're the one dictating the fight instead of being pressured by both the storm and enemies. Getting into this strong position early allows you time to heal up, loot, or plan your next move without panicking about getting inside the circle. Now moving on to tip number 2. Play with equal skilled players if you're playing duos or squads. If you don't have anybody that's equal skilled, play unranked or play solo. This is very important when it comes to ranking up faster. In my experience, duos are something you completely want to avoid. They tend to be a lot sweatier than squads or solos. And also, since it's a smaller squad size, your mistakes are going to be way more noticeable. Duos can be fun, but if you're seriously trying to rank up quickly, I recommend avoiding duos, especially duo fills and squad fills. In my experience, squads has been the fastest for ranking. Squads are more forgiving and they allow you to get more kills. You have 3 teammates to cover you, and having a coordinated team really helps you survive longer. Even if you're not fragging out, your squad can carry you to some extent. Through tougher fights, they can get more kills, they can revive you, and it really allows you to focus more on positioning and rotations. With more people in your squad, there are fewer duos and trios targeting you, and you can overwhelm these smaller teams by outnumbering them. And remember to play with equal skilled players. If everybody on your squad is the same level as you, it's way easier to maintain a winning strategy. Everyone can hold their own, you share good comms, and you won't be dragged down by randoms who rush into fights when they shouldn't. Now moving on to tip number 3, and this one's very crucial. Only fight when necessary. One thing I've learned in Rank Zero Build is that not every fight is worth taking. You might think pushing for kills will help you rank up faster, but it's way more about survival. In Zero Build, fights can go bad fast, and without the ability to build your way out of trouble, you're relying solely on cover and positioning with a little bit of aim. I always evaluate my options before engaging. Is the enemy already weakened from another fight? Are they in the open? Do I have high ground or the better position? If the answer is no, I avoid that fight and keep rotating. Often it's better to hold your position and let other teams fight each other while you stay safe and play the long game. Third partying when 2 teams are already weakened though is very crucial. It's a prime opportunity to clean up for easy elims and easy points towards that next rank. This leads us into our next tip, which is going to be tip number 4. Always go for the high ground. High ground has always been important in Fortnite and Battle Royales in general, but in Zero Build, it's literally everything. Since you can't build to gain height, the natural terrain becomes your best tool for controlling the map. If you can get to higher ground before your enemies, you already have a huge advantage. When you're on the high ground, you have a clear line of sight of other players, and they're forced to expose themselves just to take shots at you. In addition, every time a new circle forms, you should instantly start rotating towards the higher ground in that circle. Whether it's a hill, mountain, or even a rooftop, you should always be thinking about where you'll have the most visibility and control over the map. Alright, and tip number 5, which will probably be the easiest to implement and the easiest to identify and get used to, is learn a drop and find a route for the Avengers chest and just good loot in general, and where you're going to move location to location. So, the early game can make or break your match. So having a consistent drop that you know inside out is key. I always land in the same spot, which in my case is Reckless Railways. And I know that in Reckless Railways, if I get the Avengers chest, I'll easily be prepared for the mid game. What's really going to separate you from other players, though, is knowing where the Avengers chests spawn and all their possible spawns. I know that in Reckless Railways, the building I normally drop at, almost always has one Avengers chest, and you should prioritize landing on these chests because they'll pretty much allow you to stomp any enemy you find and have better loot. As well as knowing your drop is important because it'll help you learn a route to the high ground, and getting familiar with that high ground and the angles you can see from that high ground is very important. You want to make sure you're in a position where you can survive your drop and find a good high ground spot to lurk for a little bit. You don't want to insta-die off a spawn at a hot drop. Rather, you want to land somewhere that's somewhat popular, but not the most popular. You want to survive a couple squads or a couple enemies, and then get into your first fight and be able to get some loot, get some elims, and get some high ground. That's very important. And overall, just landing in the same drop every game is going to make your games more consistent. Just overall, you're going to have more control over your start. And that concludes the 5 tips. Now, I'll show off my credentials. I've only been playing Fortnite for 15 hours. I've played Playgrounds in the past, but lifetime hours, I only have 15, and I've already hit Elite this season. And I'm going to keep climbing until I hit Unreal, which shouldn't take too long. But here are my stats. And if you really enjoy this type of content, please leave a like and a comment so I know in the future, because this is my first time ever making a Fortnite video like this, or even like a Fortnite video recently.